Morning Line, thanks for joining us. And, we wanted to take away from some of the calls on Open Phones Thursday. We have the final segment here to talk about just a really worthwhile plan program. Pam Jerry here pointed this out to me, and we've got a wonderful group of guests this morning to talk about Operation Finally Home. And if you don't know about it, you're going to learn about it right now. Let me introduce some guests to you right now who are very, very involved with this. U.S. Army Sergeant First Class Joe James. Nice to have you on, sir.
Nice to meet you, sir.
It's a pleasure. Honored to meet you.
Thank you.
Also with us this morning, Bob Goodall, President, owner of Goodall Homes, of course, and Rusty Carroll, Executive Director of Operation Finally Home. And, well, Sergeant, I want to start with you.
Sure.
You can take a look at the monitor over there. No one can see you from the waist down, but we should say that you are a proud veteran. You did lose both your legs.
Yes, sir, I did, yeah.
And talk about your situation. What happened? And then
Sure.
segue to how you ended up getting involved with Finally Home.
Sure. In 2008, I was deployed on my 4th deployment. It was my 3rd to Iraq. And I was on what we call a military transition team, which is the military instructors to the Iraqi Army. We're trying to get them to start taking over the country.
Right.
And we were coming back from a mission near Sadr City when we were hit by a roadside bomb. I was the gunner of the vehicle, and the blast came from the right-hand side early in the morning. And I lost both my legs in the blast, and I lost a good friend, also my boss, Major Mark Rosenberg. And it was a very hard day. It really.
At that moment,
yes,
I'm just curious. When it happened, you were knocked unconscious. Did you wake up later?
No, I wasn't actually unconscious. I was awake the whole time.
Did
sure.
you knew the severity of your injuries at that point?
All the way to the point where I started tourniqueting my own legs.
Oh my goodness!
It wasn't very successful because of the loss of blood. But once I started putting self-aid, I tried to work my way out of the vehicle to get help. And by that time, my friends and colleagues got to the vehicle.
Because you could have died.
I could have, yeah. Well, actually, the worrisome part was that we have what we call a complex attack, where they would, the enemy would initiate with a roadside bomb and use small arms and RPG to ambush us. So we were still under the threat of possibly being taken out themselves. So when they were running towards me to help me, and my boss and my driver, Anthony Hardy, we thought we were going to get taken out, too.
Yeah,
There's only 4 vehicles.
Amazing. And so you get out of that. You're back here now. You live in Hendersonville?
Actually, I'm going to be moving to Hendersonville. Thanks to these.
And that's my segue, I suppose. But you get back, and obviously you're dealing with your injuries and what you deal with. And, you started a business with your wife. But veterans, especially, coming back in your situation, need some help, right?
Sure, yeah. I know a lot of friends that the transition from the military to civilian life, especially for longer than a few years, it could be very impactful in their lives. It can limit them from interacting to PTSD issues.
Oh, sure.
And just being able to get back in the workforce. And I know in Tennessee, that's the reason why I retired here, is that they have one of the most amazing setup and support for veterans, and companies like Goodall Homes and nonprofits like Operation Finally Home really do a good job getting me involved.
You're exactly right. We have good people like these two. Now, we just talked a little bit about how he's about to get them. Talk to you with a little bit, just Rusty, about Operation Finally Home and what you guys have done with him, and then of course we'll get Bob involved on his part.
Sure, absolutely. Operation Finally Home was started in 2005 in Texas in a very humble way by a home builder. He was, like Bob, was a home builder for 30 years and retired. And a Marine family one day called and was looking to have their home remodeled, and Dan Walrath, our founder, being a custom home builder, he says, I don't do remodels, I build homes. But when he met the family, something really touched him, and he simply said yes. And that yes, 10 years ago, has turned into us providing 88 homes to date across the country in 29 states. We dedicated our first home in Minnesota actually earlier this week. But what's unique about Operation Finally Home, I think, is 2 things. One, we feel that we're of the industry. Our leadership is either a home builder or myself coming from the home building industry on the manufacturing side for 20 years. We knew the system. We knew the process.
Yeah, exactly. You have to have that background.
But more importantly, we know the people.
Okay.
And it's the people, when this industry and people within it are asked to step up, they do it, and they do it in spades.
And Bob, they asked you. And why was this important to you to get involved and talk about the role you played in it?
We love it. It's a blessing to us to be able to serve these veterans who've served our country. This is our second home.
Okay.
Our first one was a few years ago for the Meadows family. We built that down in Linville, Tennessee. and it was just phenomenal for our company. We loved it and enjoyed it, and
you get to meet them all, of course, and you get to see that. I mean, and the significant. How do you select? I mean, there are so many that need help, but how does someone get selected to?
Well, it varies. In this case, Mike Goff, part of your church and church family, brought Joe and his family to our attention. Sure. But typically, what we do is we work with the various branches of the military. When an individual is injured, they're assigned a case manager. So we gain visibility there. We also work with the VA, the IAVA, the Veterans of Foreign Wars.
So they come to you with people that they think families, perhaps, or folks that need this help.
Absolutely, and we're looking for several things, but one of which is certainly recognizing their sacrifice and their service. But really, we're looking for people such as Joe that are trying to do to improve themselves, their family, and their community, and just can't do it based on the situation.
Yeah, the injuries, the need is there.
That's right.
How big a deal is this for you having? Without this, I mean, what would your living situation be? I'm sure you have friends, family, but how significant is this?
Well, I have no family here. Most of my family's in Washington State, but this house is changing my life completely, and I'm not even saying that to exaggerate. My house I live in is not handicap accessible. It's small, and I damage doorways with my wheelchair, because I use a wheelchair most of the day at evening time when I need to take my legs off. If there was a fire or God forbid, some kind of reason to escape, I wouldn't be able to. I have stairs that block it. I would literally have to crawl my way out of my house.
This is a custom home.
So this house will allow me to be able to go out in the community, to be able to go out and do things and volunteer like I love to do.
I think we have some pictures. Do we have a picture of the house? You'll see. Is that it right there?
Yeah, that's the rendered one. Yeah.
That looks. Did you build that, Bob?
Yes. We're building it.
It's awesome.
It's framed up. The windows are in it right now.
We have windows.
You have windows, and that's what it's going to look like. I mean, that is just, it's fantastic. And now, when they contacted you, had you already heard about this program, or did they kind of explain it, and then you decided?
The first time, not. When we,
I wasn't familiar with it either.
And it was a phenomenal program. We actually, the first house, we announced it at a Big and Rich concert up at Fontanelle, and then the day of the event, we actually jumped out of an airplane.
Did you jump?
Yes, I jumped too. That was a mistake.
He'll never do it again.
It's always the one. Yeah, always one.
But we announced and surprised the James family at a Titans game.
Okay.
And the day was beautiful. Sun was out.
It was.
We walked on the field, and a torrential downpour occurred. We were soaked from head to toe. It was so much fun. We loved it.
Keep in mind, they tricked me. My wife was in on TV, Jaren.
So you didn't know? They had set this up. You'd been selected, and you guys arranged all this. All right.
Yeah. So my wife was working behind the scenes with them, and she's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, they're telling me that you're going to receive a game ball during one of the preseason games." And I go, okay, I mean, I love, I've never been to a football game. That was my very first football game. I don't know if you know that.
It was against the Packers last year.
It was the Vikings.
Vikings, right. And it was a monsoon.
Right.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
And so we get to go meet some of the players and the coach, and they like, okay, we're gonna go on the field. Let's go get this game ball. I'm like, dude, this is the coolest thing I've ever done in my life, And then they're like, oh yeah, by the way, you're gonna get a new home. And all the people were cheering. It was raining. I didn't even know it was raining then. Right. Yeah. And then I was just like, this is the most amazing, humbling experience of my life. I was like, I don't receive stuff. I mean, I'd love to serve people.
Yeah, and you weren't seeking this out either.
No, well, the football maybe.
But not the house.
No, of course. And to something like that to happen, and from so many people with my family, and then awesome. and these gentlemen here, it's just I speechless. It was amazing that somebody cared. These group of people care so much, not just about me, but veterans.
Yep.
That they would do something like this, and then the more I researched and looked into them, realized they've been doing this for a long time.
Well, exactly. We only have about 3 minutes left. And with that regard, I mean, you've helped him, you've helped some others. This you hope to continue with. Can you talk? Is there any way folks can get involved with this? I know we've got builders like Bob, but I mean, what do people need to know here, maybe, so that we can make sure as many veterans can be helped as needed?
Sure. We certainly focus on the builders first, because that gets the alignment, and we simply connect the dots.
I want people to take note. I mean, he does this out of the goodness of his heart.
Absolutely.
But that's why I want to have him on there. He deserves recognition for helping. You're not seeking recognition for this, but you deserve it because you're doing the right thing. But go ahead.
Absolutely. And we look to leaders like Bob in the community to bring their partners, their friends, their community together, and we really make this a community event.
Okay.
So it really is us saying yes to the veteran, Bob saying yes to us, and then Bob and builders like him telling our story in the community that allow others that they work with and have been friends with just to spread the word. So it really becomes a community event that we support the builder and we support the veteran. So it very much is a community event. But
Operation Finally Home. I just want people to make note of that as they hear that. Now, do you anticipate staying involved with this?
Yes.
I mean, look, I was asking him. I have a feeling I know what his answer will be. But
Yes.
I mean,
Absolutely.
it means a lot to you to do this, and you think there'll be more homes to come.
That is why we're here, is to give back to the community. That's all it is.
That's wonderful. That's right. As we wrap things up, then, so you'll move in when?
I think September-ish.
September-ish. I hope there's some kind of thing that we can cover. And
I think we'll have two. We've got two pillar events. One is our Notes of Love event, which will give an opportunity for the community to come by and write notes on the walls. So the family will be surrounded in love, and then we'll certainly have the dedication event as well.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being involved with this. Thank you for making it happen, because without you, it doesn't. And most of all, thank you for your service.
Thank you,
I can tell you're excited.
Oh, yeah,
it's a big deal for you, and it's a difficult thing sometimes to come back, as you said, to make the transition.
Yes, sir.
And again, this will make it so much easier. This allows you to focus now on whatever else you want to do with your life.
Just living my life and supporting my family.
Yeah.
That's all I want to do.
Do you have children?
I do. I have 3.
Oh, you have 3 children,
Yes,
too.
all girls.
All girls. You're the only guy. Yeah,
Rachel, Melanie, and Sadie.
Okay.
And then the last one's 7 months old.
Oh, well, congratulations. So you have 3 children, your wife, and you're going to be moving into this new house hopefully in September.
Yes, sir.
It's a real pleasure meeting you. Thank you for this. And thank you all for coming on, because it's good to get this word out. Maybe a veteran's watching this.
Yes,
maybe
absolutely.
I can get some help. And maybe other builders and folks can say in the community, I want to get involved.
Absolutely. And certainly visit our website, operationfinallyhome.org.
Rusty Carroll with Finally Home, thank you for coming on this morning. Bob Goodall, of course, a pleasure. And U.S. Army Sergeant First Class Joe James.
Thank you,
Again,
sir.
pleasure. Thank you guys for coming on. And we'll follow us. Let us know when you move in, all right?
I will.
Take a break. I have a programming note about what's coming up later right after this. Stay with us.
This is a Talk of the Town Extra.
I'm Meryl Rose. Today we're talking about a painful condition called sciatica. Here to discuss treatment options is Dr. Kevin Mitchell from the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Welcome.
It's great to be here.
Thank you. So what causes sciatica?
Sciatica can be caused by many things. It's normally caused by a disc bulge or a spinal disc herniation.